Let's turn now to another big IPO, Beyond Meat getting grilled after D.A. Davidson initiated coverage on the stock. With an underperform, Beyond Meat falling more than 3% on the day. Joining us now is the man who wrote that note, Brian Holland, senior research analyst at D.A. Davidson. Brian, welcome to you.
Thank you.
So you think that the total addressable market is actually much smaller than what most people, most analysts are thinking, and you're saying that it's even smaller than potentially the milk market?
Yeah, so I think on a relative basis, that's right. We view plant-based as a solution within a broader market. There are, roughly 30 to 50 million people in the U.S. who are lactose intolerant. Only about 15 to 25 million identify as non-meat eaters. That's important to us because the high-touch consumer in plant-based milk represents about 60% of the purchase. So I think if you hold all else equal with respect to the behavior of the flexitarian or the occasional buyer, and you translate that from plant-based milk to meat, I think you get to a number that's probably about, at best, 75% of what we're seeing on a share basis in plant-based milk. And then frankly, it probably ends up being lower than that because meat is a much more fragmented market than milk.
Could we be at a point, Brian, just to play devil's advocate, where there's more than just the flexitarian and the people who actually need the alternatives to meat, that there are people who want to eat these alternative meat products because they want to lessen their carbon footprint or for other environmental, social reasons? Are we underestimating that cohort?
No, I think that market exists. Listen, I don't think plant-based meat in particular is a fad. I think it's here. I think it's here to stay. I think it will take a long time. I think it will be a slow build. And again, those folks who are thinking about the environment and to the extent that that's part of their decision-making process, they're not necessarily a frequent buyer. Again, most categories in food are largely driven by the core audience, the folks who are going to go in and buy once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. So I think when you're comparing plant-based milk and plant-based meat, and that's what the company's doing, so that's what we're working with as a proxy. I think that's what's going to dictate this category. There will be folks who will migrate over. I don't know that they migrate over in such a frequent manner, such that it would drive the kind of numbers that are being thrown out there right now. They'll be there, but they won't be there every week.
Okay, Brian, thanks for sharing that with us. We appreciate it. Brian Holland of D.A. Davidson with an underperform on Beyond Meat. His price target, by the way, is $130 a share.
The heck's a flexitarian?
God, you do yoga, right?
So you eat vegetables sometimes and meat? Isn't that just a normal?
Regular meat and alt meat. You don't have to find an alternative, but you can choose to find an alternative.
Not just a regular-tarian?
No, it's like you've had the Impossible Burger.
Yeah, but I don't call myself. I like the Impossible Burger. I think it's better than Beyond. I would not consider myself a flexitarian.
Actually, I wouldn't either.
Sometimes I eat vegetables. Sometimes I eat meat. Sometimes I eat them both together. That's just what normal people do. Nonetheless, Beyond Meat held 150 today. Probably trading-wise, that's a good place to shoot against.
What's interesting is I didn't hear him going against the competitive landscape at all. So my view is I'm not concerned about the addressable market. I think we are seeing this.
Kellogg, Hormel, Tyson.
That is the problem with the stock. That is why when you look at where these other companies trade, even in their best days, this is just the chipwich, as far as I'm concerned.
That was a good sandwich, though.
Thank you. It was fantastic. Everybody had one, too.
So did the Klondike bar.
Can flexitarians eat that?